Final time here at Players Championship 12. The PDC Super Series comes to an end here in Niedenhausen with a clash between Dimitri Van Duijvenbode, the world match play champion, the Belgian #1 and a man flying high in the Premier League, and Dirk Van Duijvenbode, one of the breakthrough stars of professional darts over the last year and a half. He won his first title ever yesterday, did Dirk. Never won on the Challenge Tour, never won on the Youth Tour. But he is now a senior title holder and he could do something truly special and win 2 titles 100. In 2 days. His first 2 in consecutive days. I'm Dan Dawson, Paul Nicholson, alongside me for the Dream Maker and the Titan, or the Ober Genius if you prefer, in Players Championship 12.
Well, Dirk could do something very, very special indeed. He's already had a standout week in his career, but to go back to back is something that only the greats do. The Taylors, the Van Gerwens, the Lewises, the Thorntons, the Andersons.
180.
That, incredibly, is a 53rd 180 of the day between these two. It was 26 apiece coming into this final. That is Dimitri Van Duijvenbode's 27th.
81.
We could see a bucket load of maximums between these two in this race to 8 legs for the title and £10,000. Almost as unlikely as Dimitri hasn't won one of these titles before. It would only be his second senior PDC title, the most decorated youth player the PDC's ever seen, world match play champion, not won one of these.
54.
You think about some of the things that some of the top players, what they have won and what they haven't won. Well, Rob Cross has never won a European Tour. Well, Dimitri hasn't won one of those either, but got to chalk this off the list. And this is a very good start. 12 darter from Dimitri Van Duijvenbode, an early sign of intent.
Well, hopefully these two can just
97.
chivvy each other along to top quality performances. Dirk versus Martijn Kleermaker yesterday was perhaps a little nervy at times, despite some real standout moments of brilliance in that final, but it did get edgy with a first title on the line for both men. It was their first appearance in a final
58
on the Pro Tour for both men.
Now, Dirk is looking to do something that was done in this building last year by Gerwyn Price, going back to back. And I was just trying to rack my brain
91.
as to the last person who had done that, and it flicked back to Niedenhausen, where Gerwyn Price was topping the Autumn Series Order of Merit. But another person who's gone back to back, of course, remember when Jamie Caven did it in Wigan?
Going back a few years there. Dirk Van Duijvenbode won 7 games to take the title yesterday. He's won 6 games today. In fact, the last time he lost was 2 days ago. Second day of action of the Super Series, to Dimitri Van Duijvenbode. He's beaten in the second round, 6-2.
134.
We have already seen a 170 from Van Bergh today, and we're not going to get a second. Not yet, at least.
96.
It's been one of those clusters of tournaments where we've seen 9 darters, we've seen 170 outs. We've seen all sorts. We've seen 161 bust by Michael Van Gerwen today.
41.
Well, hasn't really got going in this final as yet, Dirk Van Duijvenbode, and Dimitri Van Duijvenbode can steal a march by breaking the throw here. It's going to be 20 in tops. Lovely stuff. You could see him sliding to the right in the end. It's right in the corner, but that's good enough. 2-0 to Belgium's #1. And a note that Paul Nicholson picked up on just before this, Dirk Van Duijvenbode provisionally now, I believe, moves up to the Netherlands' #2 spot.
140.
Yes, indeed. You're looking at a potential cut-off of the world match play, where he will be there defending $0.
100.
But provisionally, he is now above Danny Noppert for the Holland shirt. And can you imagine, Dan? We're just enticing our audience by saying it could be MVG with
54.
Dirk for the Netherlands. That would up the energy stakes, wouldn't it?
Certainly would. Danny Noppert holding the number 2 spot for the Netherlands right now, but
57.
only by, what, £10,000 or so, and it would be cut even further were Dirk to go on and win this final. However, Dimitri Van den Bergh came here to Niedenhausen from the Premier League with the express
97.
intention of sorting things out in these floor tournaments. We know he can play brilliantly on the stage. He's proved it. He's a world match play champ, and he's been sensational
58.
in the Premier League, but he's been brilliant in the Grand Slam and the World Championship in the months leading up to it. The floor form has never been as good as it's needed to be for Dimitri.
80.
Dirk is really struggling in this final so far to keep up with Dimitri.
140.
If Dimitri does win this title, his world ranking is not going to change. He will edge closer to Michael Smith at number 8 in the world. But Dimitri just wants to get that chalk mark. He wants to say that I've got the first of what could be
41.
many of these titles.
Well, that's the question. Do the floodgates open if and when Dimitri Van den Bergh does pick up his first floor title? They certainly opened when he started winning on the development tour system.
88.
Treble 19. Single 20 for the bull, but the treble gives him a shot at double 5.
Dead shot.
And it's clinical on the outer ring. 3-0 and the perfect start for Dimitri Van den Bergh in a best of 15 match.
Flat 100 average right now for Dimitri Van den
100.
Bergh. Dirk Van Duijvenbode is way off the pace. They've both had one below par performance today, averaging in the 80s, but everything else has been good. In Dimitri's case, it's by and large been fabulous.
6.
First 4 games he was averaging over a ton, and well over a ton in some of them. 103, 105, 109 almost against Ryan Searle.
57.
There were some edgy moments in the semi-finals for Dirk, and he can count himself fairly fortunate that he was given chances in the middle of the match by Robert Thornton. So, with that in mind, he has played a lot of darts over the last couple of days. Is he starting to tire? I can't imagine this guy
180.
tiring. He's got so much energy bundled up inside him.
Absolutely, and there was a moment in that Thornton game in the semis where he did ignite back-to-back legs of 11 and 12 darts, and it just seemed to propel him
180.
onwards. But Dimitri Van den Bergh can certainly match him if he goes. Treble 18 for bullseye.
117.
Could we possibly? One down. One to go. Dirk couldn't look
136.
as Dimitri gets closer to the bullseye than he did, but fortunately not close enough. Missed single.
Dead
Not a
shot.
missed double. That just gets him in the match. That's a huge shot.
Wow, what an incredible little passage of play. Dirk Van Duijvenbode almost takes out 344 in 6 darts. Dimitri misses the ball for taking out 341 in 6 darts. And then Dirk misses a big number, but still
57.
sneaks the leg away. He's on the board.
They're not talked about too often, those 6-dart conversions, Dan. The 341s in 6. We talk about the 321s, of course, because that's usually how you get a 9. But 344, 347, 350 is the max. You don't see that very often. But we had a
96.
chance at both the 341 and the 344 there, like you said.
Well, any of those 300 odd points down to 0 in 2 visits where you're throwing 6 perfect darts. And then we
96.
saw Martijn Kleermaker do it to Dirk in the final yesterday. It looked like it might be a pivotal moment. It was exactly what Peter Wright did against Noel Malekdem, and it proved to be the pivotal moment in his World Championship
60.
campaign, where eventually he fulfilled his destiny and became a world champion.
What's your best conversion in 6 darts, Dan?
My particular one, around about 50.
91.
Mine's 341.
What was the context, Nicholson?
I did it against Alex Roy in a European Tour event. And I also did it against James Wade in Dublin, which was
96.
particularly sweet. That was to bring it to 5-5 in the match, and I won the last leg as well.
Well, there you go, 3-4-1. Of course, we've seen that in Dublin before.
42.
Courtesy of Mr. Dolan. Now, Dirk has given himself an opportunity here to break the throw. It's not as good an opportunity as he would have liked. But Dimmy, the trebles have just dried up a little bit.
Yeah, there are going to be phases in this match. The initial adrenaline of being in a final to start with. Then it's all about maintenance. Bullseye.
95.
Dirk goes the wrong side of the dart. Van den Bergh is a very aggressive player. I fancy he's going to go 60 here. Double 16.
Game shot.
Absolutely pinpoint. And Dan, I've got to say this, at this point in the season, in this point of the game, is going the 25 route now the lesser option on that 92 shot?
Well, I think it's... These things they come in and out of fashion, don't they? But Dimitri Van den Bergh, with the way that he hits treble 20s, although he's not happy about that, it seems daft to be so reluctant
45.
to give yourself a chance of having 2 darts to win the leg.
I said to you earlier in the day that there's no defence in darts, but there are things that can be construed as defensive. Well, maybe the option of the 25 on a 92
100.
to guarantee a shot at the bull is a defensive play.
Well, exactly. This, as little Richard Ashdown, a man who knows more
96.
about darts than the vast number of people on the planet, as he has put it, darts players are obsessed with opportunity to win legs, when really they should be obsessed with probability. What's your best chance of winning
100.
the leg? Not what's your best chance of getting a shot to win the leg. And that 92, when you're Dimitri Van den Bergh and you hit treble 20s, a bit like Dirk setting him now.
180.
2 darts at double 16 seems like the best probability of winning the leg, even if you might get a... More often than not, you might get a
30.
dart at the bull, but it might be obscured, it's harder to hit. Anyway,
Game shot.
that's a superb response from Dirk Van Duijvenbode. A 13-dart leg to cut the gap to 2. He has not got going in this game just yet, Dirk, but he hasn't been put away by Dimitri Van den Bergh as yet.
When you win as many titles as, say,
39.
a Phil Taylor or a Michael van Gerwen or even a Gary Anderson, you can start looking at which finals were better than others.
140.
But right now, these guys, it's not about how they're grading this final, it's about just getting the win. You always remember how you played in your first PC win. I remember in my first place championship
140.
win, I started with a couple of 180s because the adrenaline was at maximum. But as long as you get the win, you don't care. But
180.
right now, both seem to be finding the middle range of this match comfortable.
Well, Dirk might be settling into this, certainly in terms of the scoring. He's hit 3
100.
180s in the last 4 legs. But it's all gone a bit wonky in this visit.
63.
Rescued it there.
That was a perfect word there, Dan. Absolutely perfect. Because when you lose the line, that's wonky for you.
130.
All will be forgiven if he takes 118 out.
20s to start. Can't get the treble he needs. And Dimitri Van den Bergh
58.
will have a look at this 85. It's only for a hold of throw, but a crucial one.
Double 10. And it's in double 6.
77.
Oh, what a chance now for Dirk to get back within 1. I'm sure he didn't expect this opportunity.
Game
And he
shot.
finds it. 4-3 now.
We have a game on our hands in this fascinating clash of styles. You could not get much different, much more different than these two in their demeanours in a game of darts. Dimitri constantly trying to keep things cool and calm, constantly trying to just play down the significance of everything.
139.
Whereas Dirk just stomps about with his earrings flapping around, shouting and flexing his muscles. You know he's there.
140.
They know plenty about each other. They've played each other a good amount of times, haven't they, over the course of the last 8 years?
140.
And it's Dimitri who has the better record by quite some distance.
He does. I mean, a lot of those are in the youth system where Dimitri was dominant and Dirk Van Duijvenbode was, let's face it, and also ran. But he does have a big win against him at the World Grand Prix in the second round as Dirk. That's, of course, the breakthrough performance for him that saw him reach
58.
the final. He was beaten in that final by Gerwyn Price. Dimitri's made 2 of these finals before and lost out to Glenn Durrant and Krzysztof Ratajski.
Third time's the charms this year.
180.
And he matches the tally of 180s for Dirk by hitting his third. Can he do it this time, Dirk? No, he can't.
138.
Wouldn't want to be that top lip right now. We've got a right old bite there. This is a big shot with Dirk waiting on double 13. Can he be closed out on the bull?
56.
Dirk doing enough just to claw his way back into this final.
He made the decision to go for the treble 20. He already had a dart there. He thought it was the best chance of getting a treble. But it's left this awkward double. And it's
13.
one that he cannot find.
Well, Dimitri, you are a lucky boy, but you're only going to get one dart at double.
17.
And he needed a second. He is to blame for that one being missed. As for Dirk,
Game
he
shot.
does not miss double 4. And it's 4-4 in this final on day 4 at Super Series 3.
The averages are converging. At 4-1 up, Dimitri Van den Bergh was averaging just over
51.
a ton. Nearly 20 points clear of Dirk Van Duijvenbode. Now there were just 3 points between them. Well, less than that. As you see, 2 points.
60.
This game has come together. It is getting very, very close. Dirk Van Duijvenbode came through a close one with Martijn Kleermaker yesterday. Dimmy couldn't have got much closer to Krzysztof Ratajski in his last Pro Tour final. He was beaten in a last leg decider.
180.
What more could you want from a darts match? Bucket full of 180s. Lots of differing chances for
100.
both players. We've had a dominant start. Someone getting back into it. And now we're into phase 3 of the match. And no rest for Dimitri as he goes
100.
back to the UK to play in the Premier League next week. Will he go back with a title in the bag?
38.
Well, look, I won't lie. I've been watching the Premier League over the fascinating first 9 nights of action. And it has been as wide open as ever as Dimitri. He's not going to take the 170.
98.
But with it being so wide open, who really could have made their mark. And Dirk Van Duijvenbode is certainly one of them.
93.
And I think he's shown on the Pro Tour this year and certainly this week that he's a force to be reckoned with at the elite end of darts. As Dimmy wants double 18.
54.
Misses inside, but will get more goes.
Do you think that was a prudent play, Dan, going for double 18? I know he likes it, but if you come inside like he just did there, leaving that awkward
96.
number of 18 with your opponent getting to a finish now, I'm not sure about it. He's going to split it, so I think he's doing the right thing. Double 8.
Game shot.
Good plan in the end, and he finds his way to a 5th leg. 5-4 now to the Belgian.
Well, it worked, so it is a good plan. But it did cost him a dart at a double. And Dirk was waiting. It worked there. It may cost him a leg at some point in the future. Dirk Van Duijvenbode smashing his darts into the 5 segment and offering Dimitri Van den Bergh a fabulous chance to get a bit of breathing space once more in this game.
137.
Chance taken. 2 big trebles. Some
93.
games on the streaming boards today have been slow burners, but this one has been encapsulating since leg one. You see that shoulder shrugging in the background. I'm not sure
100.
that there's a better dart player at shoulder shrugging than this guy. He's positively Brock Lesnar-like.
58.
We've seen dart players in the past doing the old Alan Norris calisthenics with the arms waving. Andy Bolton's done a bit of that this week. But you see in the
81.
background there, Dan, Dirk is like a jack in the box. He can't wait to get moving forward.
Yeah, he's irrepressible, is Dirk Van Duijvenbode.
180.
And a fourth 180 means he's first to a finish. He desperately needed it in this leg, but he's still second favourite because Dimitri
131.
leaves himself poised.
Well, Dan, Bergh went for treble 11 there.
Yeah,
And that would have left him on double 15.
129.
Was that a miscount or was that on purpose?
I assume it was a miscount, but it does leave him double 16.
36.
And two misses allow Dirk back to the board to try and level the game up once more. Credit to Van Duijvenbode. He couldn't take the 145, but the setup shot was brilliant.
Game shot.
Oh, clutch stuff. 5-all.
That camera angle was so good. Just to let us know how much of that bet he could see, it wasn't a great deal. It maybe was a third of it at the very most.
134.
And you're right, clutch. That was positively Ryder Cup Graham McDowell-esque.
First to 8 legs wins the final and
59.
£10,000 in ranking money. It is a £4,000 jump from the runners-up spot, but it is worth far more than £4,000. For Dimitri
91.
Van Duijvenbode to finally solve the puzzle of these floor tournaments and win his first one ever, it would be a significant step forward in this man's career. A career that a lot of professionals believe will take him to a number of
140.
major titles. Not just the match play he's already won, but a number including the World Championship. For Dirk Van Duijvenbode to win back-to-back titles and his first
77.
two really would send out a statement that this man is not just some flash in the pan who's had a good few months, if anybody was labouring under that misapprehension.
86.
No, you don't flash in the pan an aubergine, Dan. It needs to be roasted high and often.
83.
Ton behind, but you would love a maximum here. Oh, and he only
60.
has to settle for 60. He's 156. And Van Bergh is favourite to retake the lead at 6-5. 60 to leave that double 18. There it is.
Game
And there
shot.
is that. 6-5 to the Belgian. And he is now within 2 of a first place championship title.
Well, he has managed to keep his nose in front from start to finish. Dimitri Van Duijvenbode.
58.
Yes. Dirk has managed to level at 4-all and 5-all. But the Dutchman has not been able to get in front at any point. Not yet.
60.
There were key shots yesterday against Clearmacher. There's going to have to be more
140.
clear and concise, big shooting from Dirk Van Duijvenbode if he's going to get the amount of chances that he needs to get past this guy.
100. $93.
Good play there, using all the different parts of the board. 210 away, and if he does get himself 2 treble 20s, he might stay there for double 15.
140.
Well, regular viewers of PDC TV will know that the games you see at the back end of these events
138.
are often things you see replicated in the big TV tournaments in the months to follow. And it would not surprise me one little bit if we
97.
see Dimitri Van Bergh versus Dirk Van Duijvenbode in a major semi-final or a final at some point this year or next year or the years to come.
32.
But right now it looks like Dimitri may win the day today.
This is the biggest shot of the match. This is to go within one. And he smashes it in. Biggest shot. And he is up to the pressure. And we've said on so many occasions over the last few years, when the pressure comes in big situations, whether it's the World Cup, whether it's a World Youth Final on multiple occasions, and whether it's the World Match Play that he's already won, he has been up to it.
Back-to-back ton plus checkouts in the last two legs for Dimitri Van Bergh.
140.
Dirk Van Duijvenbode has got to break and hold and break again. Is it just too much for Dirk?
180.
I don't think Dimitri Van Bergh has looked more ready to win one of these. He looks so
78.
calm. And he had a bit of a wobble in the middle of the match and showed a bit of micro negativity. But he's held himself together so brilliantly over the last few
105.
legs that he really does deserve this lead.
Well, he deserves this lead.
140.
He deserves this title. He has been fabulous today. He's been fabulous on the Pro Tour this year and played magnificently without getting much reward.
95.
This would be heroic. And it's just too much. And we should have championship darts coming in for the
55.
Dreammaker, Dimitri Van Bergh.
When he woke up this morning, this is the shot he was hoping he would get. He goes back to double 18.
36.
And it is a wide. Double 14. Double 7 to save it.
Game shot.
It's there, and we keep going after 13 legs. There's one between them. And you said it, Dan. He needs break, hold, break. Well, there's one of the breaks.
The reaction suggests that Dirk Van Duijvenbode thinks this title could yet be his. He has been second best to Dimitri for the vast majority of this final. But until the little Belgian can get over the line, he couldn't do it against Krzysztof Ratajski
93.
in his last Pro Tour final. He didn't get close in his first one against Glenn Durrant. In the World Match Play, of course, he annihilated Gary Anderson. Nerves
140.
didn't really play much of a factor. He won it by 8 legs. Can he hold it together in a tight game? Potentially a last leg decider and get the job done.
61.
Well, Dan, there is a saying in the NFL. They're showing blitz.
100.
That's what they say about a really aggressive defense. Well, right now, Dirk Van Duijvenbode has gone into blitz mode. Needing 3 straight, he has upped the
96.
intensity and the pace.
He went looking for the 17 segment.
87.
But he will return, looking to force a last leg decider. And then we'll really see what Dimitri Van Bergh is made of. Our first 2 Pro Tour finals of the year went to last legs. Cullen beat Clayton and Callan Ridds beat Clayton.
Game shot.
But will Dirk be able to overturn Dimitri Van Bergh and make it 2 titles in 2 days? Or can Dimitri hold his throw, hold his nerve, and finally solve the puzzle of these floor tournaments and pick up his first?
Well, looking at their head-to-head
57.
record, Dan, there's only been 1 game of all of the games they've played that have gone to a last leg decider. This is the second.
55.
Considering they've played each other quite a few times, that's unusual.
Well, I think it's fair to say they've made such strides in recent months, these two. The last 2 years, they've just become completely different players.
84.
Dimitri has taken his place amongst the world's elite, and Dirk Van Duijvenbode may do something similar in the coming months.
42.
But he's had a nightmare start to this deciding leg. And he can't understand it.
Considering the position of Dimitri after 6 darts, I think he's
180.
very lucky, but he's taken that luck and absolutely made it his own.
Oh, go on. Oh, that's what it's
180.
about. Proper top-class darts.
140 to leave more match darts. And there it is. Go high. Oh, and he didn't even go up close to it. That is really intelligent darts from Dimitri Van den Bergh. He took the bust shot out of commission.
93.
Dimitri Van den Bergh
Game shot
solves
and
the
match.
riddle
Dimitri Van den
finally.
Bergh.
And one of the most exciting big stage players in professional darts picks up his first floor title in a thrilling last leg decider against Dirk Van Duijvenbode. He denies Dirk the double in Niedenhausen, but he finally delivers and picks up his first Players' Championship title. I think we'll get some words from him, but he appears to have whacked his mask on and gone away.